Something that has also been making a lot of news recently is Adcock Ingram. The company postponed its shareholder meeting to next month to give investors time to consider a revised offer. This is CFR's latest effort to entice the Public Investment Corporation to back the deal. The PRC owns, or votes rather, around 20% of the equity. So together with the other party, Bidvest, which has now got about 7% of the votes, the PRC can make sure the deal doesn't go through. Mark Hingham from Ingham Analytics was in the studio a little while ago. He joins us now to help us to understand what exactly happened yesterday. Mark, were you there?
Mark, yes, I'm here.
Were you at the meeting yesterday?
At the picket outside Cape Times, I was on Tuesday.
Oh my goodness, we're talking with Mark Weinberg now.
That's correct.
Aha,
yes.
My apologies, Mark. There's a little bit of a, you see, there's a problem when you guys have got such common names. Let's go back to the story that we wanted to talk to you about. Everything started on the 6th of December, Friday the 6th of December, when the Cape Times had a front page that the owner appeared to believe was not up to standard.
That seems to be correct. The front page of the main body of the paper carried a critical report about one of his company's involvement in what the public protector had found to be tender irregularities in the fishing industry. He believed that it should have focused on Nelson Mandela's passing, which of course the Cape Town carried a wraparound. So another cover on top of that cover, which was voted one of the 14 best Mandela covers in the world by Time magazine, the only African cover on that list. But Iqbal Surve used this as a pretense to remove the editor from her position in the Cape Times. And of course, the Right to Know campaign came out saying that that is a complete violation of editorial independence and media freedom.
Who is in the Right to Know campaign? Obviously, you're the coordinator, but who else is with you?
Well, it's a very broad coalition of around 400 organizations. We've got democratic structures currently in KZN, Gauteng, and the Western Cape. And it's an activist movement promoting the free flow of information and freedom of expression.
And what do you want?
Broadly, or in this case?
In this case particularly.
In this case in particular. Look, we think it's only fair that the editor of the Cape Times be reinstated if she's willing to accept the job. More importantly, we think that the independent newspapers group needs to put in place extremely urgently an editorial charter that outlines the rights of management and protects the editorial freedom of journalists and editors. We're saying that that charter should be drawn up in consultation with a wide range of stakeholders. And we're also saying that the Sekandalo group needs to give a written undertaking not to sue journalists and editors in the independent group in their personal capacity, which is another development in the last week. He's now withdrawn the charges, but we think it doesn't make any sense, and he should give a principled undertaking not to do that in the future.
Mark, what if Iqbal Surve, and let's just remember that Iqbal Surve is a medical doctor who's got a very small company, Sekandalo. It's about a 250 million market cap. He's now put together a consortium that's running a 2 billion rand company, this independent newspapers. What if he ignores or chooses to ignore what you're trying to achieve?
Well, I think the theory is that newspapers are trading in credibility, and the credibility in particular of the audiences who they in turn sell to advertisers. So I think if he chooses to ignore us, it's at his own business peril. I don't see how independent newspapers will survive if this kind of incident is repeated. I wouldn't put my money there.
And what kind of support do you have? I ask this because some years ago, in 1985, the Rand Daily Mail was closed down, and the reporters at the Rand Daily Mail, together with some well-wishers, started a publication called the Weekly Mail, which is now the Mail and Guardian. Do you think that that's an option that you might consider?
Yes, I mean, I think you're pointing to a very interesting phenomenon where these big print corporations remain profitable even under periods of extreme censorship and repression. So that said and done, I would like to believe that the marketplace would support alternative and independent media. Of course, that's not the experience of a lot of small publishers in the country. A lot of small publishers are alleging anti-competitive behavior on the part of the four big monopolies that dominate the industry.